I'm going to get very fecking flethered in Ireland.
Hello? You're currently on the phone with Kacey K. Yep, that's me.
Yes, you heard me correctly. I just looked up common Ireland phrases and what is it? Hang on. What is it? Feck off is less offensive than the other the other way of saying that. And fluthered means very, very drunk. But I will not be doing that. That was a lie because I'm going with my family. So, yeah. And I think their main drink is beer, which is horrid. So, I will not be doing that. But yes, as I've said several times before, I'm going to Ireland. I'm literally leaving in a few hours. So this is me recording the pre-recorded episode. And I was going to do like a specific like topic for most of the episode, but there have been some pop culture updates, so I'm going to just do the ones I have written down and then give you some interesting facts about Ireland. So yeah, I don't think this episode's going to be too long, but yeah, while I'm gone, Thanksgiving will be happening, which I'm very sad about missing because I actually really like Thanksgiving. I know the history of it is not the greatest, but I like just eating lots of food. It's like savory food too, so that's like the best kind. And it's lots of potatoes. I don't love turkey though. I'm gonna be honest. It's always dry. I feel like we can do without the turkey, but I come like surrounding my house is like turkey farms galore. So maybe I should have more respect for the turkey industry. But I don't know. I just don't love turkey. I feel like it's one of those things that has to be cooked just right. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I do love turkey sandwiches though, although I hate cold food, so I'm an enigma because there are some things, like I don't like when when people eat cold pizza, they just go into the fridge and take the pizza out and start eating it. I want to like rip doors off hinges when I see people doing that, or like in the movies when they go and take out the Chinese takeout and just start eating it. Oh my god. It's awful. Cold food is awful. Always warm up your food. Like, there's no excuse. But on a nice hot summer day, you get some plain Grandma Sycamore's bread or Wonder Bread, white bread. Although I have become a multigrain bread kind of person, but this is just for breakfast. So for lunch on a hot summer day, this always reminds me of Lake Powell, especially. Lake Powell, sorry, my Utah accent came out. When it's like 100 degrees, you go into the fridge of the trailer or whatever you're staying in, and you get mayo and Miracle Whip, and there is a difference. Miracle Whip is sweet, and mayo is savory. But they're basically the same thing. So just depending on your mood, which one you want, you slather on a bunch of that, put on some turkey, honey roasted turkey or whatever, and top it off with a couple layers of ranch Dorito chips. Oh, it's the best. That is the best. So yes, that and like ice cream, obviously, cereal. Other than that, cold food, no. Like when people go, oh, Lunchables, oh, absolutely not. No, there's no need for Lunchables ever, 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 ever. Yeah, there was a day I realized like, wow, I don't like this. Did you guys ever do that growing up? Like you just did stuff because everyone else did it, like, or it's kind of what your family did or whatever, and all of a sudden you're just like, I don't like this. Why do I keep doing this? I do not enjoy this. I don't like certain kinds of foods, or like, I don't know, TV shows, or like I don't know, games, activities. Like, when was the point where I was like, I don't like that? But yeah, I don't like a lot of things, but I have reasonings for them. I hate when people just hate things just to hate them. But also, it's fun to hate some things just to hate them. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm also not sure where I'm going with this, but yeah. What was I talking about? Cold food. Oh yeah, Lunchables. And okay, if you're throwing an event, um, make sure that your only source of food is not a fecking charcuterie board. Please. I beg of you. When I go to an event and it's only charcuterie board, and there's not even like, as long as there's crackers, okay, whatever. That's fine. But when it's just cheeses and meats sitting out in the open, cold, but also like lukewarm. Well, first of all, I don't like cheese, so that's also another thing. I don't mind, like, I like melted cheese, but I don't like just going and cutting off a slice of cheese and eating it. That's awful. That's just gross. I think that feeds into the cold food thing. But yeah, please have some warm food for people who like warm food. It's not an uncommon, it's not an outrageous request to have warm food. I'm sorry. This all stemmed from Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving food, turkey. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sad to be missing Thanksgiving, but it'll be fun. I have gone away for Christmas before, and while the trip was really, really fun, and I am very grateful for it because I didn't pay for it, it was like a family trip, so it was like our Christmas gift. I went with my dad's side of the family, and everyone, we used to all go to my grandparents for Christmas, but they're just, they're getting older and they don't like people at their house, which is understandable. So people have started coming to my house for Christmas. And I remember we had to leave on Christmas Eve to go to the airport. And I like pack all my stuff up, and I can just hear everyone upstairs just laughing and, watching Christmas movies and doing puzzles or playing games or whatever. And I like bring my suitcase upstairs and I go to the door. I'm like, all right, bye everyone. And they're all just like still laughing and whatever. I'm like, bye. And they're like, oh, bye. And it was so sad. I hated it. I did not like that at all because I left at like 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve. And we went to Puerto Rico, which is really, really fun. I highly suggest, though, if you go, you stay at a resort, because they said after that hurricane, the only people that have really been able to recover from it are the resorts. It's like Airbnbs and stuff. I don't know how nice they'd be, how upkept, is that a word? They'd be. But you could tell, like, just driving around in some parts of the island, there's a lot that just, they were kind of just abandoned. But like the resorts, they all basically remodeled and are fine. But yeah, we stayed at a place, and like literally you walked out the back door and they had like this big courtyard thing, and then the pools obviously, and then like 20 feet away from the pool was like the beach, and they'd rake it every day, and they bring out umbrellas and chairs. It was super nice. It just felt really weird to be in a warm climate for Christmas. And I don't know, I just didn't like being away. So I hope it's not the same as being away for Thanksgiving. I don't think it will be, because obviously Christmas is a bigger deal than Thanksgiving. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever go away for Christmas ever again, because I just like being home. I like being home and going to bed with all my Christmas lights on, waking up super early. I used to wake up at, this is not a shock to anybody, but I used to wake up at like 3 a.m. I'm like, can we go open presents now? And they're like, no, go back to bed. I'm like, ugh, but I can't. And then I'd wake up again at like 4, and then 5, and then finally like 5:30 they'd be like, okay, we'll get up. But yeah, and my parents are early risers, so the fact that they didn't want to get up at 3 a.m. to let me open my Christmas presents is saying something. Yeah. Okay, what should we talk about, you guys? I feel like I've talked about myself the entire time. Watch none of this be recording. I'm on... Oh, we're good. Okay. Let me pull up my handy dandy notebook. Did you guys see the video that Steve from Blue's Clues did? He's like, "Hi guys, I've missed you." Like, instant tears come to your eyes. It's like, I remember Blue's Clues. Yeah, there's always more to talk about than I realize. I was like, I'll have nothing to talk about, but there's always something. So I have to take back what I said last week about Marvel. They must be trying to be better because, but also this is Sony too, Sony and Marvel, so it must be in like the Spider-Verse thing, you know. Sony will not release the rights to Spider-Man, which I honestly don't really blame them, but yeah, they're not giving it up. So Madam Web is the newest spider thing. I don't know what it has to do with Spider-Man, if it's a different universe. I'm guessing it is. Don't kill me, but I still haven't seen that cartoon Spider-Man, the Into the Spider-Verse. The one that won all of those awards, and Post Malone sang Sunflower for it, you know. I know like it's gonna be really good. I've just never sat down to watch it, but I've started putting a list of movies and stuff in my phone that I want to watch, so I will add that to the list. Because are there 2 now? I think there's 2. Yeah, I'm not very good at my job. Anyway, Dakota Johnson is in it. Emma Roberts. Who else was in it? I think Sydney Sweeney. Those are the 2, like the top 3 like most famous people I think in it. No, there was one other person. Hang on. But it looks really good. So I will be seeing that Marvel movie, but I don't know how much Marvel actually had a play in it. I guess probably a lot, because they have a big play in Spider-Man. So let's see here. IMDb. Did you know Amazon owns IMDb? Fun fact of the day. I think people know that by now, but there's a new Christmas movie with Leighton Meester and that guy from The Duff, Robbie Amell. I didn't even know his name. Sorry, I'm on IMDb, so these movies keep popping up. Anyone But You, the Sydney Sweeney movie with Glenn Powell. The trailer came out. It looks pretty good. Your common pretend to be in a relationship movie. All right, let's see here. Oh, Adam Scott's in it too. I forgot about that. The girl, I don't know how to say her name, Zosia Mamet. I think she was in Girls. I could be wrong. Yeah, Sydney Sweeney, Emma Roberts, Dakota Johnson, who I love. Have you guys seen Persuasion on Netflix? That is one of my favorite feel-good background movies of all time. It came out like a year ago, maybe 2, and I watched it every night going to bed for like 2 months at least. It's like calming, it's peaceful, like the colors are like pastel, it's like English countryside. It's obviously like that lady, what did she write? Oh my god. She's a very famous writer. Anyway, she wrote Persuasion too. Oh, what is it? Pride and Prejudice, right? What's her name? Sorry guys. I'm not very good at like older authors' names. Let's see. Who wrote Persuasion? Oh, well, let's choose Pride and Prejudice. Jane Austen. Did she write Persuasion too? I should have just done that in the first place. Let's see. Persuasion. How do you spell Persuasion? Jane Austen. I was correct. See, I know these things. I just don't know all of the things. I don't know all of the information behind it. Anyways, Madam Web looks really good. And the background is kind of Dakota Johnson is an EMT. And she's like rescuing this baby, I think, or something from a car, and it falls off a bridge, and she kind of goes, like, she goes into the water, obviously, and what am I trying to say? Not faints, but she goes unconscious, and she gets revived, and then she can see the future. And so apparently there's this other guy that can see the future, and he's bad, and all of a sudden they have powers. Her mom has something to do with spiders. She was studying them, but then all these girls are connected somehow. So anyways, it looks really good. I'm very excited about that. So it comes out February 14th, Valentine's Day. The saddest day of the year. I don't think I've ever had a Valentine's. Maybe in middle school, but yeah. Other than that, never a Valentine. No Valentines for this boy. Okay, so the other movie I was just telling you about, Anyone But You, with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. The trailer just dropped. It actually looks pretty funny, and they're both very attractive, obviously, so it's going to be a good watch. Yeah, I don't know much about it. I think I've already talked about this a couple times. Let's see, when does it come out? Let me check. Upcoming. I think it comes out this year, actually. Oh, come on, I hate when... Oh, here we go. December 15th. Yeah, so soon. I don't know if it'll be in theater. Oh, yep, only in cinemas. Okay, there you go. Only in cinemas, December 15th. But it looks pretty funny. I don't know much about it. They go to her sister's wedding. I don't know why he's there. It's a good question. But yeah, so that should be one to add to the rom-com list. I am ready for a rom-com resurgence because they're just the best. They always are. They're always just entertaining. Even if they're not the greatest, they're just fun. And they're good just to watch on a rainy day. Oh, I was going to say Persuasion is a good spring movie because it's kind of like got that vibe, the pastels and the English countryside and like the rainy afternoons. So watch Persuasion in the springtime with the windows open, with the cool breeze coming in, and hopefully it's got, the, what is it, April showers bring May flowers. Yeah, so hopefully it's raining. Anyway, but rom-coms, they're just so fun. They're so just sweet and innocent, and they all kind of have the same storyline, but at the end of the day, they're just so entertaining. So I'm ready for a comeback of rom-coms. Yeah, that's my spiel on that. Okay, what else do I have? Okay, so I don't know what it is. I don't know if when you sign a contract with whoever you do when you start to make music or something, that you have to say, eventually I'll come out with a makeup brand. Because the newest person to come out with a makeup brand is Adele. And I'm not saying, like, why? Why do we have so many skincare brands and so many makeup brands? What could possibly be different about all these things? I always wonder that when new companies come out. I'm like, what could you possibly have done different? Especially skincare. It's like, haven't you guys figured it out already? There's like 7,000 skincare brands, and it's like, I don't know. It's just interesting. I don't know. Like when they go to the lab or whatever and say, okay, I want to make a skincare brand. Like, are the lab people out of ideas? Like, what? Like, well, I guess we could add this, or I guess we could do this. Like, I just don't. I don't understand. I mean, I guess science is ever evolving and whatever, but same with makeup. It's like, okay, how many different shades? Hasn't every shade been made? Every lipstick, every eyeshadow, like mascara. What could possibly be different about mascara? I don't know. I'm not getting mad. It sounds like I'm getting mad. I'm just very curious why all these celebrity people have skincare brands. Like Scarlett Johansson has a skincare brand. J-Lo has a skincare brand. Obviously Rihanna. Like, I get it for like Kim and Kylie, because that's like what they do is makeup and skincare. But like like Lady Gaga, Rihanna, Selena Gomez, Adele. I'm sure I'm missing some. Oh, Millie Bobby Brown has a skincare line. I don't know. Maybe they're doing what I said. I don't know if I mentioned this. It's like, if you're famous and have a following, why don't you use that platform? So you know what? I take it all back because they're doing exactly what I said they should be doing. Because they should be, what am I trying to say? Milking that for all it's worth. What am I trying to say? Not solidifying. Using it to its. I don't know. They should just be using their clout to their advantage. So, you know what? Who cares if if Adele has a new makeup brand and there's 7,000 out there already? But it's just always very interesting to me. It's like, you know what? Never mind. It doesn't matter. It's going to be called the Shelbourne Collective. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's like the street she grew up on or like the town she grew up in. It's very early in the. Oh, sorry. It's very early in the planning stages or whatever. It's just got trademarked, so who knows how long it could be before it comes out. But like Adele has the classic or the iconic, I guess, cat eye look. She does have a very distinct makeup look, so if you're going for that, I guess this makeup would be helpful. So I don't know. I'll keep you updated on that if more stuff comes out about that. But yeah, all we know is that it's very early in the stages of this new venture she's doing, but we'll see. I'm very curious to what she's going to do after her residency ends in June. Because she doesn't release albums very frequently. Not like Ariana, who just kept releasing and releasing so quickly. Maybe that was just 2 albums, but still. But now we haven't heard a thing from her. She was actually at her boyfriend's. They call each other boyfriend and girlfriend now, apparently. Opening Broadway show. She's still with that guy, the one that was on SpongeBob on Broadway, and that just had that baby with that lady. And I guess they're in Wicked together. They're still together. I'm not. Let's just say he probably has a really good personality. I'll just leave it at that. But anyways, Adele, I don't know if she's going to release an album. I don't know if she's going to take a break for a while. I don't know, because she hates touring. So I don't think she'll go on tour. I wouldn't be surprised if she did another Vegas residency. Maybe she'll do one at the Sphere. But I've heard to get ready for that, you have to like prepare and like take special like cinematography and like production value. And so if you don't know what the Sphere is, it's that new giant circle in Las Vegas. Also, did you see that it lost $100 million its first quarter of running? So it's probably the power bill. Have you seen that thing? That thing emits so much light. So yeah, I don't think it's going well for them. When we went to Katy Perry, we wanted to go. They show a movie during the week, and then U2 is on the weekends, and the movie just keeps getting more and more expensive the closer it gets. And it was like, I don't know, like $70, which is still a lot for a movie. And it's kind of like Soarin' over California is the world now. Soarin' over the world at Disneyland. It's kind of like that, but just, more massive, and the seats don't move. But once we got there and we're like, okay, maybe we do want to do it. We checked it and the tickets were $200. We're like, yeah, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. But I've heard it's pretty cool. So, I don't know. I would do less movies. Less money and more showings. That's what I would do. Because I just feel like that would attract more people to go there. Also, I don't know the parking situation. We drove past it, and it's like very tightly squeezed into this thing, this little area behind these parking garages. So I don't know really how you get to it, if it's very convenient. Really nothing is convenient in Vegas, so probably not. what was I saying? What did I get on this top? Oh, Adele. Um, yeah, so I'm just curious to see what she's going to do. If she has another album ready to roll out, or if she wants to take a break. When she signed her new contract, this was years ago, 2018, I think, 17. I think she signed for 150 million, and I don't know what that included. I don't know how many albums that included. But yeah, I'm sure it's hefty for that price. But um, I think she's already made the money back for that whatever record company she signed with. I think it's Columbia. I think it's the same one as Beyonce. Shall we find out? I have a box of knowledge right here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I would have just kept typing, but I had to clear my throat because it was like starting to get a tickle in it. I didn't want to do that in the microphone. Okay, so the contract was with 130 million, and yes, it is with Columbia. So I was correct about that. $130 million is a lot of money, you guys. I don't know about you, but that would do incredible things for my life. If you guys watch the Kardashians, not this current episode, but the one before, it's with Chris Appleton when he gets married. It's just really interesting to me because they don't show him like that very much in the show. Like where he's talking a lot and he's in the show that much, you know what I mean? He's always usually just in the background and stuff. But they did, and it was kind of like all about him and Kim and going to Vegas and stuff. But then, so if you didn't watch it, Kim officiates his wedding with Lucas Gage, and Lucas Gage is the guy in he's the guy in Euphoria that Nate Jacobs beats up. He's also the guy in White Lotus who has the affair or whatever with the hotel manager. What else is he in? He's in something else. I guess he's going to be in Fargo. I don't know if people watch that, but anyway, he's 28, I think, and Chris Appleton is 40, and it was kind of like a whirlwind romance all over Instagram, and people were like loving it and like, oh, we're so excited for you, and then they got married really quickly. But they asked Kim to officiate the wedding, and they want to do it in Vegas, and so of course they took Kim's jet. What I would do to be on Kim's jet, I don't even know. Just to fly in like the luggage compartment, I would just be over the moon. But yeah, and then she takes them to. Well, first of all, they get in the limo or whatever, and they're like, "We gotta make I have a surprise. I gotta make a quick stop." This is what Kim says, and they go to Buffalo Bills. But if anyone's been to Vegas, the Buffalo Bills hotel is not in Vegas. It's in Prim, like 30 miles away or 40 miles away. So it's like, what were they thinking? Like, where is this quick stop that we're going to, Kim? Because we're in the middle of the desert right now. Anyways, Buffalo Bills, if you've driven through Vegas to go to California, it's that big hotel in the middle of nowhere with that huge roller coaster. So they go there, and Shania Twain is in like the auditorium area, and she like serenades them with "Still the One." Apparently that's their song that they love, and they like danced and stuff. And Shania Twain's like, I just love, love, and I can just tell you guys love each other, all this stuff. So then they go to the Whitechapel, and Kim officiates the wedding, and they get married, and then they go to Usher after, I think. Yeah, because Chloe gets mad. But then, less than a week after that episode premiered, they're getting divorced already. So it's been like 6 months. And that episode came out. I'm like, I'm not one to say like, oh, this is staged, this is put together, but that seems weird because they never show him that much, and then they do a whole episode about him getting married, and then he gets divorced right after. I don't know. That just seems interesting to me. But who knows? It just proves my point at marriage. You guys, it just keeps tallying on those tack marks, proving my point. So I don't know. Plus, you shouldn't marry somebody you've only dated for like 2 months. I'm aware of where I live, and I work in the town that produces the most weddings of basically children, people who are in their 19, 18, 20, that get married after knowing each other for 45 seconds. Yes, I'm aware, but you just shouldn't do that. I'm sorry, you shouldn't do that. I don't think it's a good idea at all. But here I am, single after all these years. Yeah, maybe I should go to therapy, but I don't think I will. Okay, so yeah, there's that. And then the new Kardashians, the one this week was about Tristan and Khloe, kind of. Well, not only. It was about Kim's schedule. I've always known Kim's busy, but her schedule is insane. Like, when I don't get sleep, you guys, it's not good. I don't get like mean necessarily. I just get sloppy, and I don't know. Maybe I do get mean, but sleep to me is like the most important thing in the world. Like, probably more than eating healthy, I would say. Just getting good sleep it's just a much needed thing. So when people don't sleep very much, or they go to bed late, or they, get like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours of sleep at night, I'm like, what are you guys doing? But it's like to that point for Kim, and she like slept in, and she's talking to those people at the Skims pop-up. She's telling them all their stuff that's coming out. She told this guy that they're having a Skims line come out, and she's like, I have no idea, I don't remember any of this. And they went in the Tiffany store. She's like, I don't remember, that whole morning is a blur. She's like, I never sleep in. I slept in that morning. I think this like sleep is catching up to me. Then Courtney was in town because she was in New York. Courtney was in town with Travis on his tour, and she said it was like 2 hours to get there, which I didn't think was Brooklyn that far from. She looked like she was staying by Central Park. I mean, she was at Rockefeller Center, but so she took a helicopter to the venue, went to the concert, then came back and had an acting class at midnight. I'm like, oh my god, that makes me so sick. Like, why? Oh, but I mean, that's why she's a billionaire, because she's a hustler. And even her mom texted her. She's like, I just saw your schedule, and it's like, I'm worried. Like, you need to slow down. But I don't know. I think if when you're on that kind of a roll, it would be fun. Like, you just like have so much stuff going on. You're like, well, like, I was just trying to do this. I was just trying to do this. I think, like, obviously she didn't just wake up and all of a sudden all this was happening. She's put all this stuff into motion, and so she's probably used to it. Plus, she has the plane, which helps her get everywhere she needs to, quickly and efficiently. She has drivers. Like, obviously, there are things in her life. Like, if I try to do this by myself, could you imagine me trying to maneuver all this stuff with me driving myself places and not having an assistant and all that stuff? Like, there's obviously stuff she's done to help her cause or whatever, help her do all this stuff. But I don't know. I just, and she said twice in this episode, 2 different nights, tomorrow is going to be so effing hard, because she's just knows she's going to be exhausted. But I just think it was funny. She's like watching back the clip. She's like, I have no idea. I walked over to those guys and told them. She literally was just hanging out with them. She's just like leaning against the fence, like talking, like it was just casual. And she's like, yeah, we have a whole men's line coming. And everyone's like, oh. And she's like, yeah. She's like, is that the Tiffany store? They're like, yeah. I want to go in there. So she just goes in. It's pretty funny. But yeah, her and Courtney seem to be doing pretty good. Like, she went to the show with Courtney, the Blink 182 show. That's hard for me to say. Blink 182. Like, I can't say all of it. Blink 182. Blink 182. And they seem fine. They seem like cordial. And they sit together in the confessionals, so that's a good sign. Courtney also, I didn't know she sold her Lemmy products in Ulta. I don't know if it's just a one store thing or what, but I would like to try them. I'm not against them, but I don't know. I don't know the reviews or ratings or whatever. But that's another thing. It's like vitamins. How do you just keep creating more vitamins? How I just don't get it. You know what I mean? That's another thing. Like, it's like the skincare line. It's like, haven't we done it all by now? I don't know. I feel like we've come so far in the last while. Like, everything is just so rapidly evolving. Like, you think by now we would have all this stuff figured out, but we have not, apparently. So, but I guess, like, not every skincare works for everybody, and not every vitamin works for everybody, and not every makeup works for everybody. So I guess I should see it that way. I just have this really negative trait about myself where I'm like, oh, no one's gonna want to like listen to this podcast. No one's gonna want to buy whatever I want to sell. No one's going to want to follow me on Instagram. I'm like, there are like 8 billion people on the planet. Surely someone out there wants to listen to this podcast. Surely 10,000 people out there will listen to this podcast out of 8 billion. Like, I don't know why I have this mentality where it's like, no one's going to buy that. No one's going to want that. No one's going to, because like when all these people like release merch or whatever, and like it sells out, or music, and it, they get like millions of streams in the first day. I'm like, wow, I guess there's an audience and there's a clientele for everybody. But I don't know why I just can't. I just have such a negative view of that. Plus, like, the consumerism world we live in now, like, I need to be better about that. I need to be better about being more positive. But yeah, I want to try them. So if they're in Ulta, maybe I'll stop and grab some, because I just want to test them. I don't know what they'll do, but I don't even know if they have one for men's. Are they universal? Is it like for everybody? We'll see. I'll let you know what I find out. I've heard they like are tasty. I heard they taste good when you eat them. Kind of like, I used to take I don't know if they were Flintstones vitamins or whatever, but they were so good. I was thinking about it the other day. Like, I enjoy taking my vitamins. Maybe that's why they had to flavor them, because that's the only way they get kids to eat them. Okay, sorry. I keep talking and talking and talking. I guess that's the point of this podcast. But what I was saying at the beginning of the Kardashian segment was Tristan is trying to talk with some of the family members and just kind of clear the air and let them ask any questions they have about all the stuff he's done. And like, he goes and apologizes to Kylie, and it goes pretty well. And Kylie says her and Jordan are good. Like, she feels like her and Jordan were too dependent on each other, and so what happened was kind of not necessarily a good thing, but it needed to happen for them to go their separate ways and grow apart from each other. But apparently they're still in contact today, and they're still friends. Obviously not as good of friends as they used to be, but yeah. I don't know. I feel like Tristan has grown, but like what Courtney was asking him, she's like, I don't really have any like anger. Like, I'm not angry or whatever, obviously, anymore. I just have questions. And she just kept asking. She's like, why did you do it? And how do you feel afterwards? And there's this part where he's like, like, when I was doing what I was doing, and she's like, cheating. She just like adds that in there. And she's just like, I just want to know why, like, what causes you to do this. And so I feel like the talks went well, but apparently Kendall does not like him at all. Kendall, and neither does Penelope, which, I mean, it's understandable, but it'll be interesting to see if he can ever get to sit down with Kendall and talk. I don't know. Chloe's a saint. You know, that'd be hard to be that civil with somebody who not only cheated on you, but did it when you're so publicly famous, and then did it twice. Yeah, kudos to her, because that'd be really hard. I don't know if I could do it. Who knows? Maybe that'll happen to me someday. We'll see. Did you guys see Kim on GQ? Oh my gosh, she looks so good. It's the Men of the Year awards. I just woke up this morning and saw it. It's also 6 now, but I woke up at 6 a.m. But she was at the GQ Men of the Year awards last night. She was wearing this really, really pretty, almost like camel colored dress. It's something you don't really see her wearing a lot. It's not like I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't like black. Like, she usually just wears black or something, or like silver, or whatever. I thought she'd be in like a Swarovski crystal dress with the skims, but this dress is really good looking, and it goes with her skin tone really well. But the cover that she's on, you guys, I will go to the ends of the earth to get this magazine, because it's one of those ones that's probably not going to be in my Barnes & Noble. So I'll have to see if I can find it as I'm crossing the pond. But it's her basically as like a businessman. And I don't love the cover photo, I guess I should say. It's with her with a bag of Cheetos. I mean, she looks good, but there's a photo in there where she's standing up in a high rise, and like the city's in the background, and she's kind of got like the wet hair look. It's kind of like Kylie vibes, but she looks good. And yeah, I will be buying it. What else? Oh, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez are supposedly in the December not cover, but issue of Vogue. They have a spread there. I feel like it was weird. Did you guys see the other day he announced that he was moving to Miami? I'm like, dude, no one knows where you live. Like, we just assume that billionaires, especially billionaires of your caliber, have houses everywhere. Like, I don't understand why he had to announce that he was moving to Miami. But he did. He made like this huge spiel about it. He's like, I've lived in Seattle for, all these years, and I built Amazon here, whatever. But now it's time I need to go be with my parents and my fiance who lives in. I'm like, so what have you been doing? Just sitting up there? Like I just don't get why he had to make a spectacle of it, because he doesn't really do stuff like that. So it's just really interesting. Also, did you know that his mom, well, probably him, but he bought it for his mom, bought Nicole's house from Real Housewives of Miami for like $45 million. It was a lot of money. It was a really nice house, like really, really nice. And it makes me sad that they sold it, but that's what her and her husband do. That's how they make all their money. I mean, she's a doctor and he's a lawyer, so I mean, they're obviously rich that way, but doctors and lawyers are making $45 million, so they have other streams of income. Plus, they have a plane too. Anyway, Jeff Bezos' mom lives there now. But yeah, they apparently his fiance Lauren's ring was 30 carats, and he proposed to her on his $500 million jet, or not jet, yacht. That's crazy. That's a lot of money. Did you guys see when he was touring around Europe on his yacht, and he there was a point where he'd have to turn around and go all the way back around because his boat was too big to fit under this bridge, and he wanted the town to take the bridge apart so his boat could go through, so he didn't have to go all the way around. And like, I don't think they did it. I think rioters stopped it. Like, I don't think they let him. But could you imagine asking somebody to do that? Hey, sorry, can you just take down this bridge really quick so I can get my little boat through? I can't imagine the audacity of some people. The audacity of billionaires. That's the title of this episode, you guys. It just came to me. Yeah, I like Jeff Bezos and I like Lauren Sanchez. I honestly didn't think they'd last because I don't think he cheated on his wife, but I think like as fast as this lady came into his life was very suspicious. But I don't know. I don't really know what she does. I thought she was like a newscaster. Maybe she is, but she's actually, I think she does a lot of like charity work and like human rights activist type stuff. I can look more into that later, but I actually like her a lot. She seems really nice, and she's friends with like the Kardashians and all those people. So yeah, they're in vogue. What would it be like to be in Vogue? I just saw today that Nicki Minaj has the 73 questions with Vogue, so I need to watch that. Supposedly, I don't know much about this. I just saw on Twitter, I think, Spotify is going to start punishing record labels for fake streams, which is fantastic because that needs to start happening. So, sorry, Drake, there goes all your streams. But yeah, it's super annoying when you see all these people at these streams and you're like, I've never heard of that person. Who is this person? Like, it just bugs me when it's people that nobody's ever heard of and they have all these streams all of a sudden. It's like, okay, something's going on here. So I don't know how they're going to crack down on it, but I saw this TikTok, or maybe it was a reel, of this giant room and all these phones on like tripods, and they were all streaming songs. They were streaming the same song. I think they're on repeat, and they just stream all day long. They're called streaming farms or something, and that's how people get all these streams, which is interesting. So, supposedly, Phineas and Ferb is coming back, and it seems legit because they announced it in January 2023, but someone just saw or posted a video of Ashley Tisdale in the studio recording, so that's super exciting. I loved Phineas and Ferb. It's like such a classic feel-good show just to watch. So that should be interesting to see. I think it's just, I don't think they're changing anything. I think they're just continuing it, which is good. I guess they could do that with cartoons. You can't really do that with regular television because obviously people age and all that stuff. But yeah, that's exciting. So Whitney, I don't know where this interview was, but Whitney was being interviewed somewhere, and she's like, yeah, I don't understand where Meredith lives. Like, she doesn't have a house. She just rents houses everywhere. And she's like, where did she put her stuff? She's like, she has tons of stuff, but you never see it. It's like, where does she put it all? And I'm like, she does have a point, but like, rental houses have closets too. So it's like, there's that. But Whitney was like, my house is only 6,000 square feet, and I have a lot of stuff, and you see it. And I was like, it's only 6,000 square feet. So I was like, immediately went to the comments, and everyone was like, only 6,000 square feet. Did she really just say 6,000 square feet? Like, yeah, that is interesting to me because normal people don't live in 6,000 square feet houses. Sorry to break it to you, Whitney Rose, but I just thought it was funny. And I love when everyone hears the same thing and you go to the comments and it's all validating like what you're thinking. But she does have a point. I think it's really weird that Meredith moves so much in the same town. And why did she choose Park City? I still don't understand that. The world may never know. That is all of the celebrity stuff I want to talk about, but I wanted to do a few fun, interesting facts about Ireland. So this is just 10 interesting facts about it. It's called the Emerald Isle for its green rolling hills or whatever. It has 30,000 castles. That's a lot of castles. I didn't think that castles were that prevalent, but I guess over there they are. Does America have castles? Like, do we just kind of abandon that idea, or do we just have mansions? I don't think we call them castles, do we? Palaces? We don't have those either. Maybe we do. If we do, let me know. I don't know much about that. It has the longest coastal driving route in the world. The Wild Atlantic Way in Ireland is the longest coastal drive route in the world, with a length of 2,500 kilometers. I don't know if I read that right, you guys. I don't know. Plus, I don't know how far that is. So, pretty far. One of the oldest lighthouses. It dates back to 1172 and is still in use since 1996 automatically. I don't know what that means. Why'd they put that in parentheses? Halloween was originated in Ireland. Halloween, previously known as All Hallows Eve, is originally from Ireland. Over 2,000 years ago, Ireland celebrated their new year on November 1st, my birthday. They believed that it was right. They believed that the night before the worlds of the living and the death become blurred, and therefore celebrated the Celtic festival Samhain during the night of October 31st. They built huge campfires to make sacrifices to Celtic gods and wore costumes to protect themselves from the spirits of evil. Interesting. I thought Halloween originated from Mexico. The more you know. All Hallows Eve, isn't that? No. What's the one after? De la Morte? You know, my perfect accent. My perfect... anyways. The shamrock symbol is not the national... The shamrock is not the national symbol, okay? St. Patrick was not Irish, I'm going to be honest. I didn't know St. Patrick was a real person. The oldest pub in Ireland is found in Athlone, County Westmeath. I think I'm going there, you guys. I think I'm going here. Let's see. Dating back to AD 900. Wow, that's old. Ireland is famous for its Guinness beer. Yeah, I won't be partaking in that. Okay, let's do... So we're going to this recording studio. I think it's the first day we get there. Tomorrow. That's weird. And it's... You can go on a tour and you can do like a... kind of like a session. I don't know how this is going to go, but we'll see. But it's got... This studio is pretty famous, so I'm going to read you some of the people that have been in this studio. U2, the Rolling Stones, David Bowie, Bruce Springsteen, Elvis Costello, Ed Sheeran, The Script, Hozier, Ellie Goulding, Metallica, Louis Capaldi, R.E.M. Let's see who else. Jess Glynn. I know she has a pretty popular song, but I can't remember it. Niall Horan, Kate Bush. Who else? Let's see. Nora Jones, Snow Patrol, AC/DC, David Grohl. Kylie, I'm guessing that's Kylie Minogue. I'm gonna say Spice Girls. Wow. Def Leppard, Sinead O'Connor, and Cranberries. Who else is in here? And last but not least, my favorite on the list is Lady Gaga. So that should be kind of fun to go see. I'm gonna do some... What is this one? I'm gonna do some famous people from Ireland. Liam Neeson is from Ireland. Saoirse Ronan, Niall Horan, obviously, Cillian Murphy. Bono is from Ireland. He's in U2. There's a lot of people I don't know in here, but I think the guy, Graham Norton's from Ireland. Enya. Oh, sorry. The guy from Bridesmaids, the cop, is also from there. And I actually saw him at Sundance, and he is tall. He is so tall. And I'm pretty tall, but he's also very tall. Michael Fassbender's from there. I don't know who Christy Moore is, but I keep seeing that name. Robert Sheehan. I don't know who that is. Yeah. I think... Oh, Pierce Brosnan is from... No. Pierce Brosnan is an actor in James Bond. You can also spot him in cult classics like Mrs. Doubtfire. Huh. Interesting. I don't know if I believe that, but... Oh well. I guess I will. It's on this list. yeah, so there is that episode, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed your little geography session at the end. Stay tuned for TikToks and Instagram posts, and I've been packing and I've been taking pictures of the outfits I'm gonna wear. And so like when I get there I can just look at the pictures and pull out the stuff so I don't have to like, because me when I'm packing I just throw a bunch of shit into the bag and I hope that it it all works out. I hate packing, you guys. I hate it so much, like with a passion. Like I can't stand it. The thought of doing it makes me so violently angry. Just kidding, not violently, but it does make me angry. It's up there with doing dishes, although doing dishes is the worst of the worst of the worst of household chores. I'm sorry. When people say laundry, I'm like, are you freaking crazy? Laundry is the best one. You get to see all your stuff. You get to, like, when you bring it out of the dryer. I don't dry a lot of my clothes, just like my underwear and socks and like towels and stuff like that and bedding. But when you just get to sit down and watch TV while you're folding your clothes or whatever, I just love laundry. I love appliances. I love all that stuff. So doing laundry is fun for me. But yeah, I guess that's it. That is it. What did I say about Billionaires earlier? I have to go back and listen. Dang it. What did I say? The Audacity of Billionaires? I don't know, but that's the title of the episode. So I will leave you with that, and I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. Watch the dog show from me on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and eat tons of potatoes for me, because I love potatoes. Although I'm going to the land of potatoes, so not Idaho, but Ireland. Anyway, thanks for listening, you guys. I appreciate every single one of you that does, and I love you so much. And yeah, good day. That's Australian. Oh my god. Okay, goodbye.